Hello everybody and welcome to this week's tutorial. Today we are going to be doing the fan stitch. Now this stitch is so pretty. It'd make a beautiful blanket. You could make a top out of it, a nice jumper. So grab everything you need to start crocheting, grab a cup of tea and let's get making. So for this tutorial you are going to need your chosen yarn and your corresponding hook. So I'm just using a 4mm, which is a G, and this is a Clover Amour. I love these hooks. I will leave the link below where you can get them from. They're just really lovely to work with. So once you've got your bits, let's start crocheting. So to start your project, we are going to do a slip knot. If you don't know how to do a slip knot, I will leave a link in the cards section of my slip knot tutorial. And I do apologise if you can hear the rain. It is absolutely hammering it down today. So we're going to start by chaining in multiples of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's one lot of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you want to pause the video and keep chaining in multiples of 6 until your chain reaches your desired length for the piece of work that you are making. So pause the video and I shall meet you back when you've chained your multiples of 6. So once you have chained your multiples of 6 to your desired length, what we're going to do is we're just going to add 1 onto the end. So whatever length you've done, as long as 6 goes into it, that's fine, and then we're just going to add 1 onto the end. Now what we're going to do for this first round is you want to find the 5th chain from the hook. So we don't count the one on the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do 5 treble crochets. That's double crochets if you're in the US, into that 5th chain from the hook. So just have another double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you want to yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is number 1. Now we're going to do another 4. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. That's 2. Three, 4, and 5. Now what we're going to do is we are going to skip 2 chain spaces. So there's one here, so 1, 2, and into the next space we're just going to double crochet or single crochet if you are in the US. So insert your hook, yarn over, yarn over and pull through 2, and that just anchors that fan down. Then we're going to skip 2, and in the next one we're going to do 5 treble crochets or doubles if you are in the US. So 1, 2, 3, oh, 4, and 5. And as per usual, my yarn is all knotted up. And then we're going to skip 2, and we're just going to double crochet into that next chain space to anchor our fan down. Then we're going to skip 2, and we're going to do 5 trebles or doubles if you're in the US into that next space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to skip 2 and double crochet or single if you're in the US into that next space. Oh my word, it is proper hammering it down with rain. I do apologise. So then again, we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and into this next one we're going to do 5 trebles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then as you can see, I chained 24, so I am at the end. So I am just gonna do my last double crochet into there, and that is round 1, and it is already looking really, really pretty. So now we're going to move on to round 2. So if you are still carrying on with your round 1, just pause the video and meet me back when you've got to the end of round 1. So it is just simply 5 treble crochets or doubles if you're in the US, skip 2 stitches, and double crochet or single if you're in the US, skip 2 stitches, 5 trebles, skip 2 stitches, and 5 doubles. So pause the video and I shall meet you back when you are done at the end of your row. So now we're going to move on to round 2, and you want to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're going to turn our work around, and you want to find your middle stitch of your fan. So I'm going into this one here, and we are going to just simply double crochet or single if you're in the US into that stitch, make sure you go through the 2 loops of the stitch and double crochet, or single if you're in the US, and then we want to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we want to find our double crochet from the round before, and we are going to treble crochet into the double from the round before. So treble into that double crochet, then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to find our middle stitch from that fan in row 1. So this is my middle stitch here, and I'm just going to double crochet into that stitch, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to find our double crochet or single crochet from the round before and treble crochet into that stitch. Then we're going to chain 2 and find that middle stitch again, and we're just going to double crochet. Ensure you go through both of those loops because it is quite easy to miss a loop. And chain 2 and treble, into that double crochet and chain 2 and then double crochet. And now what you want to do, you want to, when you get to the end, is find the 3rd chain, 1, 2, 3, and we're just going to treble crochet into, sometimes it can be a bit tricky, just into that final stitch. So if you pause the video and continue doing your stitches as I've done in this round, so double crochet into the top of your fan and treble into that double crochet with chaining 2 in between. So pause the video and I shall meet you back when you finished the end of round 2. So now you've got to the end of row 2, we're going to move on to, funnily enough, row 3. And what you want to do for this row is we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to turn our work. Now what we want to do in this stitch is a half fan. So this chain 3 is going to count as one of our trebles, and we're going to work into the very first stitch that is down here at the bottom of that chain 3. So if you're having trouble finding it, just pull your work at the bottom of that chain and you should find a space. So you want to do 2 trebles or doubles if you're in the US into that space. So 1, and 2. So that's our half fan, and then we're going to double crochet into the double crochet, or single crochet if you're in the US, from the round before. So insert your hook, and this is what it should look like. Pull that out and you can have a at the start. So that's our half fan, so the chain 3 counts as a treble, and we have 3 more, and then our double crochet into this double crochet from the round before. Now we're going to move on to the treble crochet, so we're not going to chain any stitches. We're just going to go straight in to do another fan. So in this treble here, you want to do another 5 trebles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're going to anchor this fan into our double crochet, so you don't need to chain anything. We're going straight into that double crochet with another double crochet, or single if you're in the US, and that is what, so that's your first full complete fan. Then we're just going to repeat that again all the way along. So we're going to do 5 trebles into this treble here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're going to anchor that fan with a double crochet in our double crochet. So if you want to pause the video and continue doing that same pattern, so 5 trebles into the treble crochet from the round before, and a double crochet to anchor it into the double crochet from the round before. Just keep doing that until you get to the end, and when you get near to your end, I will come back and show you how to turn the work. So if you want to pause the video now, and I shall meet you back when you get to the end of this row. So I got to the end of this row, and what we want to do is another half fan into this chain space here. So we need to find, you can either count 2 backwards, so 1, 2, or you can count 3 spaces up. So I find it easier to count up, I don't know why, but 1, 2, 3. So into this 3rd chain here, if you can see, so that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3 there. We are going to do 3 treble crochets into that space, and that makes our end of our work for this row. So 1, 2, 3. So that is your second round of fans, and your work should look something like this. It's such a pretty stitch. I absolutely love it. I think it'd be so nice as a blanket. So now we're going to move on to round 4. So what you want to do is we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to turn our work around. What we're going to do is we're going to find our double crochet or single crochet if you are in the US from the round before, here at the top of this fan, and we are going to do a treble into this double. So once you've done that, you want to chain 2, 1, 2, and then you want to find your middle fan, so middle stitch of your fan, sorry, and we're just going to double crochet into that, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to treble into this double crochet. And then find our middle stitch from our fan and double crochet into that one, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to treble into our double. So if you want to pause the video now and carry on with that sequence all the way until you get to the end, and I shall meet you here and I shall show you how to turn your work. So I've just done my last treble into the double from the round before, and I'm going to chain 2, so 1, 2, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the end of this fan here and just do a double. So this is what your work should look like at the moment. And then what we're going to do now for the next round is chain 1 and then turn, and we're going to go straight into here, this treble here, with a fan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're gonna treble crochet into this double, and then we're going to fan. No, I did that wrong. Sorry, my apologies. Let me pull it back. 5. And then we're going to double crochet to anchor that fan. That's better. And then we're going to fan into the treble. And then double to anchor it. So that is what your work should look like. It is such a pretty stitch, and you just need to keep repeating each round until your work gets to the size that you require. So there you go, that is the fan stitch. I think this stitch is so pretty, and I am definitely planning on making a blanket out of it. I think it'd be lovely to do either 1 or 2 rows of fan and then swap colours. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget, you can find me on Instagram. You can also find me on my blog on WordPress, where there's lots of free patterns. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. The other thing I wanted to quickly mention while you're still watching is that at Crochet Beginners Group we have our own merchandise shop, and all the profits that we make, all the proceeds are going to two charities. So it's Mind in the UK and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention in the US. So I will leave the link to our shop below. Hopefully you'll go and check it out. If you don't, it doesn't matter, but if you could share it, I would really appreciate it, because we're trying to raise as much money as possible for charity. I will leave the link above to the video that I have done about our charity shop. So thank you very much for watching. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall see you next time with a new tutorial. Thank you.